Welcome to season, what is it, 16? In the year 2026. Now, this is going to be a very useful video for you if you, like me, have been playing League of Legends for a very long time. I've been playing it for, I think, close to 15 years now. And you still don't know what you're doing, just like me. Then this video is going to be great for you. So this is how to not play League of Legends in 2026. Let's go. Is it playing or? Now it is. Strange controls on this video player. So this is a game that I literally just finished. It is fresh in my memory. And clearly I'm playing Diana jungle because that's really one of the few sane choices that you can take in this season. She's very strong. She also looks good. Ideal combination. And we start right away. We get the, whatever it's called, red jungle item because it burns. And I like that. No, I think this has to do with the combination of items that you're going for. The other two, obviously, the one gives you some extra movement speed, which really seems a little pointless because you get tons of movement speed this season anyways. And the other one gives you a shield, which I will get a shield later on anyways. I don't need two shields, thank you. So here I'm going for the obvious choice to invade the enemy jungle, which turns out to be quite a bad idea. But it doesn't really matter, right? I'll take some damage, but the impact is close to nothing because, let's be real, jungle in this season is actually quite easy because, yes, you deal less damage to the camps, but the camps also deal less damage to you. So even if you take some damage in some little skirmish before you start farming, you can still easily clear camps. You don't die. There is absolutely no risk of dying to these camps almost ever. I could just go AFK and have a drink right now. Nothing would happen. So this is fairly easy. As I move forward, I'm trying to do this efficiently. I probably fail. So the idea is that Diana's passive is activated after you use an ability and then auto attack. And so I want to kind of tie my abilities so that I can profit off of the passive as often as possible. Right here, there was a little inconsistency. Probably already wasted a few seconds. This is by no means an optimal clear. But then again, this is not a video to show you how to do it. It's a video to show you how not to do it. Yeah, for anyone wondering, this is about, I don't know, bronze 1, silver 4, elo. So probably where the majority of us find ourselves. Now the tricky thing is kind of while I'm trying to clear my camps efficiently, I have to keep an eye on what happens on the map, right? I see here that my bot lane, my Xayah AD carry is almost dead. She has to recall. Braum decides to follow her, which is bad news for me because I'm aiming to get the bot scuttle crab, which is going to spawn in about 20 seconds. But I am not done clearing my camps. I have this one last monster to go. The good thing is the enemy bot lane is also low on HP, so it is not likely that they're going to try and catch me. And if they do, probably I could kill at least the Zed. So here I'm done clearing and I'm walking towards the river to get the mentioned scuttle crab. At this point, I don't really know where Mundo is. I'm assuming that he also started on blue side, meaning he should probably be around this area also, right about now. And I'm like, I wonder if I can find him. Not realizing that he's already in the river. And then I run into him. But this is fine. I decide to fight him. Just because he's a little bit low. And then Aurelion Soul joins and I'm wasting my flash. Maybe not a waste. I probably could have died here. And then I'm realizing, hang on a second. If he started topside, that means the other scuttle crab is still there. And I can get it. And so I go immediately. Which is what you should do. Now, This is not necessarily because it gives you some kind of huge in-game advantage or anything. It doesn't. But it is a matter of confidence. And jungle is a lot about confidence. If you feel that you're making good decisions and they actually work out, then you are realizing that, okay, this could actually be the game of my life. And then you'll just keep going. Now keep in mind, you can see here, I'm going back to my camps through lane for as long as possible because I have this movement speed buff. And now that I'm entering the jungle, I lose it. Right? So you want to take advantage of the fact that you get this home guard basically every time you spawn and throughout the whole game for as long as you stay in the actual lane. So as if you're a jungler, don't make the mistake of actually walking to the jungle. Rookie mistake. Stay in lane for as long as possible and then veer off into the jungle in the last moment. Just like you would on the highway, I guess. Alright, so we keep clearing, keep watching. Now the first dragon of the game is going to spawn. But this is another trap. And I see this a lot in this elo so far, that people try to go for this Drake as early as possible. Because they're thinking, oh, I get an advantage. Yeah, maybe you do, but only if you get the Drake. But if you die, you not only not gain an advantage, you actually fall behind. So that's the kind of bait that was included in the game. And having learned this, and I'm not going to say how I learned this, but I did. Painful. I decide, no, you know what? I'm just gonna go for the Drake anyway. So, right, my mid laner is kind of pushed in. He definitely doesn't really have the chance of joining me. So I start the Drake anyways. I can kind of see bot lane seems to be getting the upper hand for some reason. And then I see Brand joining me. It's a miracle. Now Brand, as you can see here, he is about to proc his passive, which when the circle completes deals extra damage, which is really, really useful when trying to clear objectives. And for some reason Aurelion Sol just does not move. He could have. He's already level 6. And he probably could have stopped us if he wanted to, but he didn't. Yeah, anyway, and then I walk into the enemy jungle thinking that, haha, I can steal the enemy red buff. But of course there's nothing. And then I kind of see that Aurelion Sol is thinking about roaming. And I want to deter him from doing that. And then he gets caught by Brand and takes some damage. Which is really nice. Now, again, I have no idea where Mundo is, nor do I care. And then I decide to get the Scuttle Crab just because it's here. There's really no other reason. But it will give me some extra gold and then I can buy a little more towards my first item, which is called, I think, Dusk and Dawn. OP, especially on Diana, because of the mentioned passive that she has. The item does kind of a similar thing. It helps you proc your passive even more often. Right? So the more abilities you use, the more auto attacks you weave in, the more you're going to prac your passive of basically doing extra strong auto attacks. Which helps you clear your jungle faster. And it also helps you if you ever want to duel an enemy. Which we're going to see, maybe, eventually. So I keep farming. And the monsters just flying everywhere. Yeah, for anyone that is as bad as I am, keep that in mind. You always have to keep your rhythm up. As I see my mid laner about to die. Because he's probably going to get ulted to Oblivion. He didn't. I think he didn't even need ult here. Now I do see that Aurelion Sol is kind of low. And I'm thinking, hold on, I've got a remedy for this. So I try to go in, but this guy's just too fast. So I waste my flash and my ult and I get absolutely nothing for it. And rightfully, my mid laner calls me out for it. I still think it was a good idea. Even after all this time. I think it could have worked and then I would have been the hero. But instead, one example of what not to do. So then we see these little guys, they're just sitting here in the pit and I'm like, I don't like that, I'm gonna kill them. And so that's what I do. Right, we have the advantage. Aurelion Sol is nowhere to be seen. He's probably, either he's coming mid or bot, or top. Ah, there he is. He appears top. And again, because Brand has a good passive, we kill this very quickly. And then I can recall and finish. No, I can't finish the item. I actually recall a little early here. I still need about 20 gold. And so I have to wait a few precious seconds, which really my bot lane does not have, before running back. Exactly the opposite of what I described earlier. I don't go through lane, I walk right into the jungle, sacrificing a lot of movement speed in the process. So there you go. How not to play League. We are trying to skirmish here. We are doing it in a very obvious way. I'm running at them. And then I keep running at them for really no reason. My team already gave up a long time ago. And I just keep going. I even use my ult. I bait out the Z ult, but I really get nothing for it. Right, so it's kind of ult for ult. Worth? No, definitely not worth. And then I try to steal some farm from my AD carry, which, you know, I'm sure she's going to appreciate. And then we go back to farming. Or do we? No, we waste the vision cone. And then we go back to farming. Now again, being half health as a jungler in this season, no problem whatsoever. You will easily recover the health. It is absolutely no risk. I don't even know if that's good or bad, to be honest. I mean, it sort of encourages you to get back into the fight. But this is obviously, especially in this elo, a lot of bait. Now, you can see here that Mundo used his Smite, which is probably good, because the dragon is about to spawn in 5 seconds. You can see the little yellow number on the little map in the right corner, which I'm sure no one else in the game is seeing right now, but I did, at least. And so I'm thinking, okay, you know, he wasted his Smite, so let's not do anything with that. And let me just keep farming. Because I now have completed my item and I'm prioritizing this over anything else, right? I can see my bot lane is engaging. I don't care. So instead what I do now what I should be doing. I run down the lane to get the movement speed and I ping that I want to go to Drake. Now luckily Brand catches on to this and he walks over with me because he knows we can take this very quickly. And honestly, it does not even matter that Mundo is here. We're just going to engage here. Brand is shielding the wrong direction, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure that we can just kill the Mundo here. And then get back to what we wanted to do originally. Yeah, the enemy team can't do anything. Mundo's gone. I don't know where Aurelion Sol is. He could be ulting in here. I think I'm worried about that, but nothing happens anyway. Yeah, I'm smiting about 2 seconds late. No big deal. Try to smite on point. Right? Your smite, you will kind of get some audible notification when your smite upgrades. Or your jungle monster upgrades, let's say. And you smite along with it. And then you will deal 1000 damage already. This happens quicker, I think, than last season. And I'm not even going to comment on this. I'm using literally everything that I have. Almost dying in the process, making Brand flash for it, even though he doesn't get the Aurelion Sol. But yeah, great. And I think Brand may even die in the process, I'm not sure. Here we've completed our jungle item, so now we have 1400 smite damage. Which I don't remember, is that more than last season or less? Was it 1200? I think. Yeah, we keep farming. We see that Yorick is pinging for something. I'm confused what he means. I see Brand dying. Aurelion Sol almost dies, but of course he does not. Because he's a flying piece of a... What is he? Dragon? World Eater? I don't know. But yeah, he does the thing that he does. Always. So now what am I going for? There is not really anything else to take, so I'm going for the Scuttle Crab yet again. This does not really serve any specific purpose. My ult is coming up, so I guess we could be looking at bot lane to see if we can dive. But they've already had the help from Mundo. So I decide, okay, this is wasted. We're not going to do anything with this. But then for some reason I still decide to look for this. Just to anger them a little bit, right? I see Mundo is going for me and I'm like, okay, let's fight. Let's see what happens. See if I can bait the enemy as well, but they're not really baited by this. They don't really care. It seems that they also were not very confident in this Mundo. And neither was I. Yeah, I use my ult for no reason. It doesn't work. Mundo also has a passive which prevents CC from working on him. And so I think, okay, maybe Xayah can kill him, but of course she can't. Because she does not have ult. This is all information that was available, but I just did not utilize this. And then I run into this guy. And he's thinking, ha ha ha, I can kill you. And I'm saying, you know what, you can't. And I'll show you why. Now, I have 230 HP. And there's really no reason for me to go back in, but I do it anyway. And then I jump on him and I kill him. And for some reason I survive. I don't know what happened. If this looks like it was planned, it was not. It was sheer accident. Now, Xayah wants to surrender the game, which seems very smart. In general, if you're not a jungler, you need to keep in mind, if your jungler is doing well, you always have a chance to win the game. And by doing well, I mean that he's not behind in levels, that he does get objectives, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them. Then you always have a chance to win the game. What happens in the lanes, if your bot lane goes 0-20, that's kind of honestly okay. But if your jungler is behind, then you're going to have a very bad time, and the game is probably going to last a very long time, or not. If you lose very quickly. So I'm here stealing the enemy blue buff, which I hope is going to anger Mundo even more and put him behind a little bit more. And then I try to go for this, which in theory is a really bad idea, right? My brand just recalled. All the lanes are kind of pushing in. Noasus is there, Aurelion Sol is there. If they wanted to, they could go for me. And there wouldn't be much I could do about it. But instead, they're focusing on the turret. And I'm just focusing on this. And then I'm not really realizing that the lane is pushed in. And instead I spawn this, which, I don't know, I could have waited. I think I just kind of tunnel visioned on the dragon here. And then I see Mundo again and I'm thinking, you what? What do you want? No, I take this little, whatever this is, a fruit that gives me health. And then I take the scuttle crab again because this is mine. It was never taken by anybody else but me. Yeah, now the Drake is up again, but who said that you have to get the Drake right away? Instead, we clear the wave, and we see that everyone is kind of heading our way, and I'm just thinking, okay, Mundo, show me what you got. And I see that he doesn't really have that much. So our whole team is basically here. Yorick is pushing top. This is pretty good for us. Except, of course, Aurelion Sol could be coming in with his ultimate, but I see that he's going top lane instead. So this is fairly easy to take for us. Did I smite early again? I didn't pay attention. Let me know in the comments if I did. Back to farming, obviously. We're not that far from completing the second item, the Rift Maker. And then I see my buddy Braum fighting by himself, and I decide to support him a little bit. right? And then here I go for this Veigar until I don't. The important thing is that we send a message. And the message was ignored. Yeah, so I'm going topside here, which is a very long way to walk. But it's otherwise not really safe. I don't know where Aurelion Sol is. My team kind of was resetting. And so I focus on the one thing that I can do, which is farming. Finally, the bot lane turret is gone. I'm surprised it took that long, to be honest. And then we clear our whole top side. And then we can recall. We can recall. Why am I not recalling? Ah, right. We find Nasus here. And I'm deciding to go for this fight because, I don't know. I could have just baited out the Nasus ult and then left. I didn't need to die here. Luckily, Bran can clean up. But this was not how to play that. Keep that in mind. This video is not about what to do, but what not to do. AKA everything I do this game. Almost. Granted, Braum is very brave. I have to commend him for that. Now, Yorick is doing the work, the absolute work, in top lane. As Braum is suggesting to Xayah to uninstall, which is not very nice. Back to farming, and then I see that Brand may be chased down by Aurelion Sol. But nothing happens in the end. Now you can kind of see the score between the teams, 17 to 15. It is kind of close. The game is by no means won. And I decide to give Brand a little hand, but he does not really care. He just runs into the minions anyway. I want him to stop the way for him. The risk is kind of now, if we lose a team fight, which could easily happen, our bot lane is very vulnerable. Case in point. At any moment, the enemy team could decide to go for the Baron. And when they do, with 1 or 2 team members dead, as of what happened right now, then there's probably not much we can do. So this is kind of what happens. Yorick is pushing bot lane. But the enemy could easily go for Baron here. I don't know why they're not. If I decide to scout a bit. Clearly I'm lost. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just clearing the wave. Seeing if I can maybe bait them. Aurelion Sol was thinking about going for Yorick. But now he changed his mind. And then I'm being accused of being AFK, which is a funny thing to say to a jungler. Generally, because obviously you cannot be away from anything because you will fall behind very quickly. And if you do fall behind, you're going to have a very bad time in the game. Now the next Drake is coming up. And top lane is being pushed very hard by Nasus. And I kind of see that everyone is coming towards me, so I'm just going to start the Drake and see what happens. This is not the Drake that I have to get, to be clear. This is kind of optional. Right, and we're not in a position. Our bot lane is kind of tilted. They don't really want to win the game. And then I'm thinking I can get this Veigar, but I can't. And then I keep going, And I kind of hesitate a little bit, and Mundo kind of, I don't know, teleports, flashes, I don't know what he did there. And then I can maybe try to kill the Zed, but I can't. I overstayed. I didn't need to push for this. It's okay to give up a Drake. Because again, you don't have to get every single one of them, right? I had already 3. Giving them 1 Drake is not going to do that much to the game. Me dying, however, that is a bad time for everyone. So again, now the game is kind of in the favor of the enemy team a little bit, because we don't seem to have the morale. Braum is not happy, Xayah is not happy, Yorick is doing excellent, Brand is also doing okay, and I'm just lost at this point. I don't know. You know, I can see what bot lane is doing. I'm just committed to farming. And Xayah is doing the same thing, but unfortunately she does it with my camps. Which is a bit of griefing, but whatever. Now here what happens, Xayah of course goes in by herself. She has no vision. She gets caught, big surprise. And she dies. And now the whole enemy team, we can see that on the little map here, is absolutely congregated around this Baron. And I see that and I walk over. And I'm thinking maybe I can get at least the Veigar this time. That would be nice. So I flash, I get this guy, and then I see Aurelion Soul passing me by, and I'm thinking, you're not going to get away another time. This time I will get you. But then I get kind of lost in the skirmish, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to waste that time so that Yorick can get a lot of things done bot lane, because they are likely to go for this Baron afterwards. Right, so Yorick again does his thing. He's a side laner, he keeps pushing exactly what he should be doing. And apparently this is a very strong tactic for 2026 anyway. Don't team up all the time. Don't be afraid to push side lanes if your champion is equipped for this. Here I remember I was pinging Xayah desperately to just give it another 3 seconds before she has an ult. But she didn't. Right? This is clearly a big rookie mistake that I made myself, either wasting your ult or not even waiting for it to be up, because she probably could have gotten out of this alive. To be honest. Even if she couldn't have stopped them from taking Baron, which is fine. I'm not even too worried, we still have our outer turrets. Yorick is going to keep pushing the side lanes. And I think he does a much better job at it than Nasus does. But now, of course, we do have to contend with the fact that they have an immense pushing power, which they're going to be using by running it down mid, pretty much. Which is okay. I still have a small level advantage towards Mundo. And then I'm thinking, okay, Xayah, please don't die again. Maybe we can catch this guy, but nah. And for some reason, I stay in his damage ability way too long. But I'm kind of trying to bait him to go for me and not for Xayah. That's sort of the idea here. And then he does it anyways. And I'm frantically being pinged by the mid laner. Kind of correct, to be honest. And I can kill the Zed. I use my ult for this. I'm not sure that I have to. And we kind of prevent them from taking the inhibitor. At least. Now I can get Zhonya's Hourglass, which is going to be very, very useful. But getting this guy, yeah. Good luck. Yeah, it seems to me this champion doesn't really need flash. He just needs to have this ability up where he can just fly away. And I can't even really judge how fast he can fly. So I have no idea where he could have been by now. Yeah, just no idea. And he anyway had the Baron buff, so he recalled probably very quickly. Probably in one of these brushes, who knows. But then Mundo comes by. I don't really know why. And I know that I can fight him. I have the minions on my side, I have all my abilities, and I waste my ultimate here. But yeah, I get him to flash. Then I'm thinking, you know what, one more Q and you're done. And Drake is coming up, perfect timing. And this is also the Dragon's Soul, which is really the one that matters. That's what I've been working towards the whole game. And of course we secure it. And then we're thinking. So I'm first I'm thinking, okay, should I go into my camp? To my top side? And then I think, nah, I should stay close to the team. And I alibi killing the enemy camps a little bit. Just so I can stay in the loop. After all, we're still racing towards level 18. And waiting for the wave to come. Keep in mind, they still have a little bit of Baron push, I think. But then I see Aurelion Sol here, trying to flank my team. And I'm thinking, nah, that's not gonna happen. And then he ults me, and a little bit late, I could have done it sooner, but I do use the Zhonya's to mitigate some of the damage before taking the enemy red buff right in Mundo's face. Which apparently he doesn't even care about. Now, luckily, my team actually wins very hard in mid. Could have gone the other way. This was a bit of a coin flip. But then I'm like, nah, we're just gonna finish this now. So there we go. How not to play League of Legends in 2026. The victory. So yeah, in hindsight, I got into, I don't know, 2 or 3 fights that really I shouldn't have gotten into. I died once or twice where I really didn't need to die. And I also wasted my ultimate probably 3-4 times when I didn't have to. And it didn't make any sense. So that's what not to do in 2026. Thank you for watching. There will be more videos of maybe League of Legends, other games for sure. My Medieval Dynasty series is out and 30 episodes strong. So please enjoy that if you like. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.